Hey everybody, I'm Benjamin, aka The Terrible Australian, and from supermastery.com, and welcome to my video review of Napoleon Dynamite director Jared Hess's latest film, the crime comedy Masterminds. So let's get right into it. Now, I know Napoleon Dynamite is one of those comedies that is either loved or hated by people. But to be honest though, even though I haven't seen it since it came out, I remember really liking it a lot. I thought it was a charming, funny little indie comedy. But at the same time, I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't have liked it, because it is a very quirky film, and its sort of humor is a required taste. But I don't know, for some bizarre reason, it worked for me. And I thought, okay, and I figured Jared Hess, the director and co-writer, would be, definitely a filmmaker who's one to watch. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the films that Jared Hess has made afterwards haven't really quite worked for me, unfortunately. Like Nacho Libre, which I know has kind of got a bit of a cult following now, but I didn't really think much of that one when it came out. And neither Gentlemen Broncos. I haven't seen his last film, Don Perdo, I think it... No, sorry, Don Verdine, sorry. So I can't really say much about that one. But I was interested in his latest film, Masterminds, because this is a film that is based on a true story. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And plus it had a lot of actors in it who I'm quite a big fan of, like Zach Galifianakis, Kristen, Wiig, Owen Wilson, Jason Sudeikis, and so many others. So in that regard, I thought, okay, this could be a fun little crime comedy. Unfortunately, though, yeah, at least of the films that I've seen of Jared Hess's so far, I would say this is definitely his worst. I just found this film to be quite unfunny and just too quirky for the sake of it as well, because I know he has a very sort of quirky style to all of his films, and I can see how that can rub people the wrong way. Like, I mean, I get rubbed the wrong way by a lot of quirky films as well, but it sort of depends if it sort of suits the mood of the film. But yeah, I don't know, the quirkiness of this one just did not work for me at all. If anything, it just felt incredibly forced and jarring. And I'm not saying the film should be, say, done 100% realistic or anything, but I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of just, he was putting too much quirkiness in the film that it just ended up feeling, yeah, very jarring overall. And a lot of the film's humor kind of just fell flat. And I actually felt bad for the cast, because you can definitely see that a lot of them were trying, like, sort of to make the best out of this film, because it's not really a particularly interesting script, even though it's an interesting true story that the film is based on. But unfortunately, though, it's yeah, they don't really do much with it, and like I said, a lot of the jokes kind of just fall flat. I mean, there are amusing moments here and there, but they're like way far in between. So in that regard, the film wasn't just, I guess, bad in that regard. So yeah, it's just poorly written, kind of flatly directed, and like I said, the cast do try their best, but unfortunately they just weren't able to save this film. So, and the film just did not really capitalize on its really cool and interesting true story premise. So yeah, there's not really much to say about Masterminds. It's just a pretty poorly made and really unfunny comedy. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the film. So if I had to give Masterminds a rating, I give it 1.5. It's just, yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to say it's mind-numbingly bad where I think like, oh, it's an absolute abomination. It's just, as a comedy, it just doesn't work at all. And it just was just flat, dull, too forced, and just way too quirky for its own good. And yeah, that's pretty much it really. So 1.5 stars. So yep, that's the end of my video review of Masterminds. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. See you guys.